Welcome to a very special episode of Retro Effects. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. I'm going to do my first top 10 list, but it's not just going to be a normal top 10 list. It's going to be the top 10 games that I played the most as a kid. Not necessarily the best games or my favorite games, but the games that I spent the most time on when I was a child. This should be pretty fun. I know I had a good time coming up with this list. Hope you enjoy.
Graphics.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning into my little project here, little top 10 list. I know that I'm a sucker for a good top 10 list. I watch the Watch Mojos and all the stuff that the video game guys do on YouTube, and I love the NFL channel, the top 10, whatever. So those are fun. So I kind of wanted to do my own, but I didn't really want it to be opinionated. I wanted it to be just like cold hard facts. So like coming up with the top 10 games that I spent the most time with, good, bad, or indifferent. Sometimes you get stuck with some games because when you're a kid, you don't have a job, so you're not buying your own games. So you're relying on the games that, you got as gifts, or you borrowed, or somebody gave you, or, borrowed and didn't return. So I just put together, and some of them are cheating. There might be more than one in the same slot, but it's my list. We're going to have to live with it. Okay, so number 10, we're going to go with Sega Sports games. Okay, I stuck to NES, SNES, and Genesis for this because I'm going to go, I'm probably going to do another one. I'm going to do a top 10 games I played as a teen, top 10 games I played in my 20s. So this is probably from the age of like 1 to 10 or 1 to 12. So we're going to go, all three of these are probably number one, and I spent equal time. Okay, so we have Tecmo Super Bowl for Genesis. Now, did I play a lot of the Tecmo Super Bowl for the NES? Yes, I did. This is the one I played the most. This is the first one. This is the one that introduced me to Tecmo Super Bowl. And this is off the 1993 season. And it was, I would say this is probably still my favorite one. Even though I love the NES one and all the mods and hacks and everything, this one is probably my favorite. Along with, I spent equal time playing Madden 96 for the Genesis. This was the first year for the Panthers and the Jaguars. I spent a lot of time on that. And then the EA Sports NHL series on the Genesis were real solid sports games. And, as we know, the Genesis is mostly known for its sports games and its arcade type games. All right, so number 9. Startropics. Criminally underrated NES game. I always thought they should give this a remake. So if anybody who is in the industry, or if you have, if somebody wants to come up with a petition, let's do that. I know they made a sequel. I haven't played through it, but I played through the original Startropics. I don't know how many times, at least 15. Very, very underrated. And if you haven't played it, I'd give it a try. 8. Snake, Rattle, and Roll. Yeah. This is a weird game. I think it's made by Rare. And you basically were these snakes that had to eat these like little balls to make yourself longer and heavier, and then you couldn't clear the stage until you were heavy enough. You had to actually like literally get on a scale. So it was innovative. It was different. It was kind of kooky, kind of crazy, but I think I got this for a birthday or a Christmas one year by one of the relatives, and just ended up coming back to it. Never beat it though. Played a lot of it. All right, number 7. Wait, yeah, 7. I'm counting backwards. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Never beat Tyson. I'm gonna do. The first time that I want to beat Tyson, I'm gonna do it on camera. So I'm gonna get to the point where I think that I can, and then hopefully I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna record it so I don't ever have to try it again. Um, so this was a boxing game, but it was more like an action puzzle. I mean, when you really think about it. Um, and I spent hours on it. I still pick it up every now and then and try to get past it, but I really got to learn some of the techniques. All right, number 6. Yes, Super Spike Volleyball. So this was a gift, or it came with the NES satellite with the soccer game, but I played the volleyball game more than anything. Criminally underrated sports game. You can play 4 players on this, and it's a lot of fun. And look, and the controls are like solid. Sometimes you play like an obscure sports game, and the controls are real weird, and that's really kind of what makes it. Like some of those early NFL games, before Madden and before Tecmo, like those were the sports games that you couldn't control. But this had like solid, tight controls, and it was just fun, and it was fast, and it was action. You know. All right, next 5. Another weird game. Some people probably don't like this. Again, half of it is real good, and well, not real good, but half of it I enjoyed, half of it I didn't. TNC, Town and Country Surf Designs. I know, not really one we talk about a lot, but I enjoyed the skateboarding part. I never really could grasp the surfing part in this, but for me, being a little kid in the '80s, and like it was cool being like a skateboard surfing type thing, with Ninja Turtles. I always thought this was kind of cool. I'm just noticing now this is LJN, which is probably why it's not so great. Everybody knows that, but I played a lot. I played a lot of the skateboard part. I'm still fairly decent at it today. Number 4. The Adventures of Lolo. And nobody ever had this. Nobody ever had this growing up. This is like a little puzzle game. And I know I hear people on YouTube and stuff talk about it now, like they revisited it. But I mean, I had this as like a 5-year-old. And it was pretty cool because it got you to really think critically and do some puzzles when you're a kid. Like it get like Nintendo smart. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Lolo, and I haven't picked it up in a while. I should, because I've said that, like, I think I was listening to not to give it away, like a famous YouTuber talk about it. I'm like, people know what Lolo is. I still have codes written down from when I was a kid. So yeah, if you like puzzle games, give Lolo a shot. All right. Number 3. Okay. Everybody loves this game, so this is probably why everybody played it. And it is very good, and it still holds up today. And I'm probably going to play it for the channel. But Donkey Kong Country, right? I remember getting it for Christmas in 4th grade and being like blown away by the platforming and the fact that you can have those graphics on the Super Nintendo. And it was just, I mean, it was a lot of fun. And there's not really too much you could say about Donkey Kong Country that hasn't been said. If you haven't played it, look, there's so many sequels and recent sequels and stuff. So if you haven't played one of them, pick one up. They're all. I don't think there's a bad one. All right, number 2, and this has been pretty popular on YouTube lately, but I mean, for the same reason that it's popular, like everybody had this game, and I didn't know anybody who could beat it, and I still don't, right? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1. Okay. Everybody had this game. Every kid at school had this game. Nobody could beat it. It was way harder than it should be for a kid. And look, on the box they have like the comic book, the turtles with all the red masks. They don't have like the identified turtles with the colors. And I mean, you can with their weapons, but yeah, I mean, what can you say about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first game? Because that really hasn't been said, other than the damn level gave everybody nightmares. But I always could beat it, and I could breeze through it today. But after that, it's man. And then, look, and then you had the kids who, like, because it wasn't 2-player, and you were trying to like pass back and forth once you die, and you had the kids who would switch to turtles at the last second so they can extend. Yeah, that was a Nintendo faux pas. All right, number one, you could probably guess, but I have two of them, and I played them both equally. But one I probably finished more than any other game. Okay, Zelda 1, Gold Cart, and A Link to the Past. Okay, I probably finished these games more than any other game. I mean, I replay this one every year. I replay this one every so often. I probably have played this one more, but before it came, it's just this one wins on longevity, just because I had this before this, obviously because this came out first and this did not. But I mean, these are seminal classics, and I still enjoy. I think they both hold up today. Honestly, I mean, I still enjoy playing them, and they'll be on the channel. So just a little different, a little top 10. These are probably the games that I spent the most time on, from like age 1 to 10. So if I were to, or maybe even 1 to 11 or 12, but 14. If I'm gonna go like 13 and 19, it's gonna be a completely different list. And if I'm gonna go 20 to 30, that's going to be a completely different list. And I think one of my favorite things to kind of look at is to see how people's gaming tastes change, just like a palette. Just like your palette changes, just like your TV show preferences change, or your movie preferences, or like your fashion or your clothes or whatever. Like your preferences in games will change from every so often. So it's kind of interesting to see people's opinions and kind of favorites change, or like what they spend time on. So that was my top 10 most played games from, I guess, age 1 to 12. If you got your list, drop it below, send a tweet. If you have any comments, suggestions, any suggestions of any top 10s that I should do after this. I mean, I love watching them. I mean, why shouldn't I do them? So just like, subscribe, share, and then drop your comments. I'm really, really curious to see like what everybody else's top 10 most played, not favorite, but most played games are. Thanks for tuning in.
Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, Gmail. Don't forget to like and subscribe.